to find a way to like use this as like a vessel for music as well, like
What do you
actual
mean?
like music creation, like music videos and shit.
Help
Like,
me out.
I mean, shit, it's about to pick up our I mean, shit, honestly, it might pick up our
It might
conversation
be
right
mid
now.
conversation. We've done that before.
We've done this. It's been
and like it will happen.
It
again.
will happen. So that's
We're
why
not we're not that structured. And
No,
that's the beauty.
oh yeah, there's no structure. Like right now, we don't even know. People will be like, "Are we on the record?"
Like, are we? I don't even know.
People will be like, "Are we?" And they think we're being facetious. And I like to always the only caveat. I have no idea. Sometimes it picks up after 15 seconds. Sometimes it picks up after 30. Sometimes it picks up after 45. Sometimes it picks up right at 0. And they could have picked up this whole fucking yammering and yapping thing we got going on right now.
We'll only find out after.
Exactly. That's the fun part of it, though. It's kind of like Jack in the Box, right? Like when you.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, like
I can almost taste the Jack in the Box.
Right? Like when you pull up to the drive-thru and it's like, I want this, this, and that, but you never really know what you're gonna get until you eat it. Like,
hey man, I love Jack in the Box. Your curly fries, sensational.
Do you remember the one time? I mean, we won't share too much context, but do you remember the one time that I went to Jack in the Box and we were gonna eat Jack in the Box and I was gone for like an hour, even though it was down the street?
Oh yeah, you were gonna pick it up for us,
and then
we were all chilling in the apartment.
You were just hanging out,
and then all of a sudden it's like, hey man, where's Ryan?
Where's Ryan? It's just down the street getting some Jack in the Box, and then like 45 minutes later, I pull up with some Jack in the Box, and he looked at me, and you're like, dude.
What happened?
What the hell happened, man?
You went on an adventure. We were like, what happened?
No, it was a
hey, man, you copped the food for us.
Jack in the Box, man. That's just good, man.
You can't complain about the time, but that was hilarious.
You know what? It's been a long time since I've had Jack in the Box.
Same.
But it's one of those things that I will always know what Jack in the Box tastes like.
It's sensational. And you know about Jack in the Box? They have a great variety.
Oh, yeah. The churros and the curly fries? Come on now. With
those greasy ass tacos.
Oh yeah, you know,
hit after several drinks.
Do they still do the? I know they do the munchie meal, but I know they really nuked it because the one I used to always get was the chicken tater melt.
Chicken tater melt.
That shit was bun. It was so the chicken tater melt. It was on a croissant bun.
Damn, okay.
It had a piece of chicken in there. It had a hash brown. Had some wicked sauce. I don't even know what the fuck kind of sauce it was. I think shit, it could have been gasoline fuel for all I know.
Doesn't matter.
I'm
not relevant.
I'm still kicking it right now, so it must not have been totally lethal. I mean, if anything, it'll be one of those things that would kick in like 30, 55, 75 years, knock on wood, whatever. But yeah, that chicken tater melt, man, it had bacon on there. It had the chicken. It had the hash brown, some kind of sauce. And then the little croissant bun, man, that shit with the half and half curly fries and regular, and then the 2 tacos. I mean, man, and it was like $5. And this was like 7, 8 years ago when we used to do this.
Probably.
Shit, nowadays that same meal would probably be like $20, man.
Probably. I haven't been to Jack in the Box in a minute. I should go back. Maybe I don't know. I know I've seen the commercials, but I'm not paying enough attention. I see a Jack in the Box commercial, like, oh, have they released the new items?
Yeah, I mean, Jack in the Box is one of those things, man. I mean, it's like, it is what it is. It's good for what it is, but it's definitely not something I would recommend to people to be like, hey, you should have Jack in the Box. Like, I wouldn't suggest.
Well, I actually differ slightly. Like if someone's like, I want some curly fries right now.
Go to
Jack in the Box.
No, let me be very clear. Actually, this is an important caveat because August 26, 2026, Ryan would tell you, hey man, don't go to Jack in the Box. But August 26th of 2019, Ryan would have been like, hey, you want some Jack in the Box?
There we go.
That's the evolution of life.
That's the evolution. We call that growth.
Or lack of growth, because maybe I've been missing out on the munchie meal all this time.
Maybe this whole time all you've needed is some curly fries.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the only thing holding everything back has been curly fries. It might be, man.
Same here. I haven't been ingesting any curly fries recently, and that might be a problem. Who knows?
Only one way to find out.
Curly fries.
Oh, you know what, man? The churros though, with the little whatever the fuck filling was inside of there.
Yeah. I will say, best fast food dessert though. Del Taco cheesecake bites. They're expensive, though.
Hey,
they're expensive. Hold on. They are expensive, but you know what? Frankly, they're worth it.
On the subject of Del Taco, I'm glad you bring this up. We got to shout out the award-winning Del Taco in Fullerton.
The
award-winning Del Taco. Because I'll tell you, the Del Taco that I grew up next to is booty cheeks.
Really?
That thing's ass. It's awful.
All the Del Tacos I've been to taste the same.
But the one in Fullerton back in the day, that shit was on. I mean, that Jack in the Box, Sonic. I mean, come on, man. Those were the places back in the day. Sonic right down the street with the Sonic Blast with they had the little cookie dough in there.
Oh yeah,
different flavors. I mean, shit, it all kind of.
I will say, I'm never the biggest Sonic guy. It just never clicked for me. There's also like
I had a phase. I never.
I had also at some point like
I had a phase.
They weren't the most price effective, and I never thought it tasted better than the other one. So I always just thought, let me just go somewhere else.
The only time I told you I had a phase. The only time I ever went to Sonic was in and around the time when we lived together in that little gap because it was down the street and it'd be open at like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I'd go with you.
So it's like, man, if I'm hungry, it's 3:00 in the morning. I went to Jack in the Box yesterday at 2:00 in the morning. Yeah, I went to Del Taco at 2:00 in the morning the day before. The rotation says it's a Sonic night.
Yeah, you got it. Look, man,
you got to do what's open.
Like a baseball player can't pitch 5 days in a row. You got to switch out the lineup.
Yeah, there you
got to switch out the lineup.
There you go, man. As much as you want to pitch every day. Sometimes you got to take 5 days off, right?
Take 5 days off,
4 days off. There you go. But yeah, dude. The Sonic was a phase because I never ate it before the Fullerton Sonic. I never had Sonic. And after the Fullerton Sonic, I've never had Sonic. And I've never had Sonic at a location that isn't the Fullerton Sonic. So,
more you know.
So it's a phase. I couldn't tell you.
It is a phase.
But Jack in the Box, man, oh, yeah. And then, even like, Carl's Jr., obviously, back in the day.
I like Carl's Jr.
Back in the day, a little double Western bacon cheeseburger or the breakfast with the French toast sticks. Jack in the Box used to have those, too. I don't know if they still do the breakfast French toast sticks.
Ooh, I'm unaware.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The French toast sticks used to be my favorite thing. They'd be like little, like breaded sticks of crack with powdered sugar on top.
Yeah, it's fried sugar.
It's literally like eating crack, but it was good, man. And
that's why I like donuts. It's fried sugar dough.
I haven't had a donut in fucking forever, too.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's been a long time.
You want a donut right now? Donut man's right across the street.
Donut might kill me depending on what's in it. Well, it won't kill me, but it won't make me feel good.
Look, Ryan, if the donut kills you, do I carry you back? People are going to think I killed you. We have to figure that. We have to plan that.
Well, okay, actually, I take that back. It won't kill me.
Okay.
It won't kill me. It won't
people are going to think I beat you up or something. But why are you carrying?
It won't kill me. It won't kill me, but without getting into too much detail, it just won't feel pleasant. How about that?
That's fair.
But it also depends on the donut because there could be
the donut.
And actually, that's something that's very fascinating. Something that a lot of people don't talk about is the ingredients that go into the shit that you eat. Because sometimes, there will be things that will be included into your donut or your cookie or whatever
it is,
that you don't realize is in there unless someone tells you to look into it for whatever reason, whether it's allergy purposes or whatever. It's something I've always wanted to talk about, and we'll do it another time, maybe full in depth. We don't want to give away all the trade secrets too quick.
Trade secrets. Let's go with the trade secret. We got to keep.
Actually, no, trade secrets is coming. By the way, we've been yammering.
So they're not going to be trade secrets anymore. You're going to be.
We've been yammering for about 8 minutes, which is great. But we have trade secrets coming up later on.
Later,
exactly.
We're coming.
We're coming.
Slowly, but
surely, man. Jed York has been coming too, apparently, right?
No, because he was in a sting operation. He didn't get to come. South Park, man. I told you, Butters bottom bitch. That episode came to real life fruition. It's crazy, man. It's just very, I don't know if surreal is the right word. I'll call it surreal. A billionaire owner of one of 32 football franchises, and a very valuable and historic one at that, San Francisco 49ers, in Ohio, got caught in a police sting operation for soliciting a prostitute. That is an absurd headline. The whole concept, and look, we all know, especially now, there's a lot of billionaires doing some weird stuff out here. But I also wonder with him, it's geez, man, obviously you should not engage in prostitution. It is illegal and morally, clearly, incomprehensible, right? All the fun stuff, right? All the fun stuff. So bad, so wrong. Let's say that. It's you're a billionaire. How'd you get caught? I thought that was the whole point of being a billionaire. You have enough networks and stuff where you can do this stuff and not get caught. I feel like a lot of billionaires are doing this and just not getting caught. And this dude got caught in a sting operation in Ohio. Like, you got to be better than that. You got to be better than that.
I would just advise, like, if no one's ever seen Butter's Bottom, bitch.
It's a seminal South Park episode.
Seminal, yeah, one of my all-time favorites. And that episode literally is that, like, you know, they say South Park episodes in reality. That episode came to life. That you know, but I will say, you know, it's actually an interesting conversation, not about Jed York specifically, because look, I don't know Jed York.
I don't know him either. Maybe
I don't even know what I don't even know what he sounds like.
Maybe he didn't even do it, and they got the wrong guy, or they tried to entrap him. Right?
No, I mean,
I'm just saying, though, conceptually, it's like, damn, you actually got arrested.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think, you know,
and it was a legal prostitute, right? I didn't like of age, right?
Oh, you mean like, yeah,
the purported. Yeah, I didn't see any.
No,
article.
Well,
that'd be completely different.
But at that point, it's pedophilia. It's not prostitution.
Exactly, like
prostitution
is like a red herring.
The prostitute is like you're a legal adult.
Yeah, well, because like.
But yeah, no, because otherwise we're talking like Epstein Island type shit.
Yeah, like little kids, if they are selling their bodies for sex, it's through a trafficking. Like, it means they're being trafficked, right? Not to say grown women and men can't be trafficked either, but
that happens too.
That happens as well, but like with like minors, it's like 100% of the time. Where it's not 100% for adults. It's still a high percentage.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I see that. Now, I will say, you know, I know it's a controversial topic for a lot of people, and I'm sure maybe even you and I might not be fully aligned on this, which is fine. It's the beauty of the UnFiltered Report. Like, to me, I've always been a big believer that I think, and again, people disagree. That's fine. I caveat with this. Like, I think, in the most humble, moralistic way that I can explain, do I condone it? That's a different conversation. Like morality, different conversation. But like, if we also want to call a spade, like let's call a spade. Like, in my humble opinion, beyond Jed York, I've always believed that all of the world's problems come down to a couple key factors, and it's like a Venn diagram of key issues.
Tell me.
Either it's someone who's in the closet and doesn't want to admit it.
Okay. Like you're saying, a man in the closet. It's usually closet. I feel like closet is a term for men usually, right? Men are hiding their homosexuality.
More often than not, yeah. Like, or maybe bisexual, but like, you want to take it up the hoo-hoo from a man, or you want to do it to a man, but like, you don't want to admit it to anybody.
Like, these guys might have like a wife, 2 kids, and a golden retriever.
Exactly. Like, you'd have no idea.
Might be a VP at JP Morgan.
Hypothetically speaking, it could be.
It could be your neighbor.
It could be your neighbor. Yeah, hypothetically, it could be. And but it's a lack of, like, there's this weird societal, like, to this day, like, I always look at it like it's 2026, man. Like, believe whatever you want to believe, do whatever you want to do. Like, we should be in a society where it's like people should be free to be themselves. So, like, look, if you want to be gay, bi, whatever, like, do you. But a lot of the world's problems stem from a couple of different things. Again, it comes from people in a closet, or people that don't want to, like, fully admit, like, who they are, and their insecurities project out. So, I'm talking about, like, a lot of the, the people that, like, want to take away, like, women's rights and stuff like that, or, like, all those sort of things. Like, it goes hand in hand, because I think it's a combination of either people in the closet, or people who, if they're straight and they're men, want to get dominated by a woman, but they don't want to admit that either. Because it's like, this might be a controversial opinion, and I'm sure you don't agree with this, and you weren't expecting this to have this conversation, but that's the beauty of the UnFiltered Report. You sign up for coming on here.
Yeah, we go with the flow.
You go with the flow. So the way I look at it is this, like, controversial opinion maybe, but I think that, look, 2 things can be true at once. A lot of people would tell you that we live in a patriarchal society. We live in a misogynistic world. In my humble opinion, 2 things can be true at once.
Absolutely.
It can be patriarchal. It can be misogynistic. But I also can think that women rule the world. And why do I say that? Because for the straight men or bisexual men that aren't, like, fully in the closet, but, like, the ones that you see that, like, talk down on women and all those things and make the rest of us look bad.
Yeah, they do and they're vocal on the internet too.
Yeah, and
they're vocal.
They're vocal. And why are they vocal? It's like, the the guy that you're driving on the freeway and you see the dude with the modified engine and they're making too much noise and they put the high beams on, and you can't see, like what do you say when you see someone like who's driving a car that's flashing you with their high beams, revving their engine, honking at you, whatever, even though you're not doing anything? What do you say? They got a small dick. It's probably not the thing I should say. I don't really give a fuck. Like, so
Speak your truth, Ryan.
So all the world's problems come down to insecurities or a lack of being like, hey, I am who I am. It's like either I'm gay and I don't want to admit it, or it's like I'm a man, but like, and I'm straight, or I'm bi and I love women, but like I don't want to admit that like the woman, like I would do anything to have the sex with a woman that I have to like gaslight women into thinking that they need me more than I need them to.
Oh, like you want it so bad you're going to go like manipulate and go through the whatever hoops, steps, jumps necessary.
So it goes in many ways. It goes to like Jed York. Like Jed York's a billionaire. Like a lot of people, like if you like looked at it on a surface level thing, and you said, "I'm a billionaire," most people think like, "Oh, if you're a billionaire, you could have sex with whoever you want." But the reality of it is that clearly either it was the case or it wasn't. And what makes the world go round and what makes the world have problems is people not having sex that they enjoy. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. All the world's problems.
A global problem.
A global problem comes down to people being sexually frustrated in one way or another.
So there's one word to help the world. Sex. Fucking.
There you go. Fucking. And that's why.
Is that the advice for today, Ryan? Everyone should just be out here fucking more. What's the message? Tell me the message, Ryan.
The message is that okay, I'm going to actually connect this to some shit that like, I'm going to do the best I can to articulate this in a way that makes sense. You go on a dating app. You make your profile. You find your 6 to 10 or whatever the fuck the number is, best pictures. Depending on the app, you say, they have a couple of, okay, you go on Hinge, which, by the way, funny enough, you want to talk about funny shit. Hinge and Tinder are owned by the same fucking people.
I didn't know that.
Same motherfucking billionaires that are taking your money. If you're paying for that shit, you're paying the same fucking dime. 2 different sides of your own ass getting fucked.
That's hilarious. Is it like a holding company that owns both of them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Match Group. Match.com. You remember Match.com? Match.com. Match.com owns both of those motherfuckers.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I swear to God. Look it up, man. I could be
Match.com still active? Like,
no, but
go on Match.com.
But
I remember seeing the commercial.
But you got to think about like legacy media. People, a lot of young people nowadays, you see, they're like, oh man, like Fox News, CNN, MS Now, whatever. Yeah, Match.com. There you go. We got Arman Googling this shit live.
I didn't know this was still a thing. I haven't seen their commercials in years
because they evolve. Like it goes to like. Maybe not the best example, but there's this long edge thing that I've been talking about for a long time off the record. We'll get to that in due time, but like, I'll give you an example. So like, you know this better than anybody. Like, have you seen those corporation maps where like one thing's here and then the arrows go all around and it connects?
Yes.
So the long edge thing does that. And then this is like a subsidiary, words are difficult at this hour, of that, right? So what I mean by that is, I'll give you an example, and I'll actually throw this back in there with the long edge thing because there's nothing that says you can't talk about things twice. So there was a thing that came out about 2 months ago, and it actually connects to something that we were probably going to talk about later. So the Justice Department of the United States a couple months ago launched an investigation into the NFL. In that investigation, they launched this investigation into the NFL's media rights deals and like their distribution to streaming companies like Netflix, Amazon, yada, yada. If you don't believe me, this is reported knowledge. Like, I'm not making this up. Like, it's not a conspiracy theory. There are articles out there. There are feature pieces that you can read. But, that's maybe people, I'm just crazy. I like to read these things. But in this Justice Department probe, and if you dig through the weeds, who kind of gave the hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge with an elbow for the Justice Department to go launch this quote unquote investigation? Rupert Murdoch and Fox. Why did they do that? They did that because, in the words of Rupert Murdoch, paraphrasing, of course, the streaming services are an existential threat to our existence. Existential existence, same word, right? They're an existential threat to our profitability, our as you know, people think Fox, it's like Fox News, but it's also Fox NFL Sunday.
Yeah.
Same exactly. Shit. It's the same company.
It's Fox.
It's the same company. Just like when we get to it, and
isn't Tom Brady a commentator for Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. It's the same, and this is the same Tom Brady that was in that flag football game in Saudi Arabia and Fox.
The Fanatics one.
Yeah. There you go. So it's like, all these guys know each other, right? And so it's like we go to the Lakers and the sale that the Lakers had. Mark Walter and his investment group, they buy the Lakers from the Buss family. And then less than 2 years after, less than 2 years, so like a year and change after Mark Walter and company, who owned the Dodgers and many other leagues. By the way, Mark Walter and company bankrolled the Professional Women's Hockey League, I'm pretty sure. Like, they run the league. Like, they own the league, I'm pretty sure.
You're kidding.
You can Google it and fact check me if I'm wrong.
Wow, that sounds absurd.
I could be wrong. One of the women's sports leagues, like Mark Walter and company, bankrolled that league. So, my point is that, like, kind of everything connects in a little bit, where it's like, okay, Mark Walter buys the Lakers, not Mark Walter specifically, but Mark Walter and partners, they buy the Lakers, and then they buy it from the Buss family, and then they sell it to Joshua Kushner and Bob Iger, right? Joshua Kushner, brother of Jared, married to Ivanka, daughter of Donald, El Presidente. We love you, buddy.
Love you.
Yeah,
you gotta sing the praises for the President of the United States of America. Patriotic. We're patriotic. We're Persian. We're patriotic.
See, what's funny about this, man, is like people will hear this and they won't even know where we stand.
Does it matter?
Does it matter?
How about this? This is how I stand. I like living in America.
That's your opinion. That's what I'm saying. I like living here. I like living here too. But you know what?
I had a good time in America.
Hey, you know what, man? I love living in America, but also it's like, hey, you know what? It's like I'm in the middle. I love America. I don't want to end up in, so it's like, okay, we'll find a way to tread the water slowly but surely, and I won't drag you into it. You got your, but like, okay. So you've got Joshua Kushner and Bob Iger. Bob Iger,
former Disney CEO.
Most recent CEO of Disney. So if you want to take this even further down the tumbleweeds of crackheadness, for lack of a better term, what's the one thing you always hear about Disney from certain legacy media publications? Woke mind virus type shit, right? Like Disney's got all this.
There's been a lot of media about that with them.
Right? So explain it to me, if, like, not to be a conspiracy theorist or nothing like that, but I just want you to take a second and think about this from like not you, but like just let the things marinate. So the most recent CEO, other than the current CEO of Disney, partners up with somebody who is directly, indirectly a part of the federal government. Bob Iger from Disney, everybody talks about it being like some like left-wing, like nut job network, right? But then the CEO of that network is buying the Lakers with a guy who's on the other side of the spectrum. Like, people would look at that and be like, what are you talking about? How does that make sense? And it comes down to propaganda, because I could convince you, not you, but like, if people don't realize that everything that you see is just a method to like divide people, distract people. So it goes back to sex. If I propagandize men and women on straight hetero relationships, we're not talking about like, women and women, men and men, transsexuals. We'll get to that. We're going to get to that on the UnFiltered Report. I promise, as best I can and as we can. But within a hetero relationship, men, women, there's a lot of propaganda of like either, hey, like all men are evil and weird, or like, I'm a man, like a woman just gotta like childbear and raise a family. And like what a lot of people don't realize is like that's all just propaganda bullshit. Like at the end of the day, like what's the lesson? The lesson is like, hey, we can go on a date. We can go have a nice date. I'm a dude. I'm a straight man. But like that's just a societal trope. We can go on a nice date. You want flowers. You want someone to open the door. You want a nice dinner. We can do all that. That's fine. But it's one of those things where it's like, if the scales are tipped and you're taking advantage of the fact that we'll do that, and it's just like, hey, I'm taking a free ride of like, you're paying for dinner, you're paying for the drink, you're paying for this, you're paying for that, and we're not doing anything, then you end up like Jed York and you got $160 to board.
I was waiting for the connection to Jed York. There we go. I knew you always bring it back.
You got $160 to burn.
You're going, and I'm like, I'm bringing that back.
It's $160.
Bring it back to the topic. Gotta love it.
Really?
So it's $160?
It's $160.
Is that in the article?
It's in the article. It's in the press release. This is not conspiracy theory. He had $160 on him. Like, and like you mentioned, Jed York's a billionaire. But you know what? Like, you got to think if the billionaire can't bust a nut.
He was attempting to pay $160 for sex with a woman he believed to be a prostitute.
There you go. And guess what? If Jed York has to go through hoops to find a prostitute in Ohio, and he's so down bad, he's got to ping that prostitute 3 times.
What does that mean? That means he was like following up.
He's like, hey, I'm still horny. I need to fuck. I'm still horny. I need to fuck. Like, where are you? Like, they don't call it post-nut clarity for a reason.
That is funny.
So it's like, to me, controversial opinion.
So he filed for divorce for his wife in May.
So controversial opinion. We can live in a patriarchal society. Men can be pigs. Men can be dicks. Not all men are evil, in my opinion. I don't think you and I are bad people.
I think we're good people.
I mean, I can't speak on my own. On my opinion, you're a great man. Me, jury's out. That. But it's like,
jury's you're good.
But like, bro. My point is this: like, in a hetero relationship, in my opinion, women rule the world, because what's the saying? Happy wife, happy life.
That is the saying.
And it's the saying for a reason.
I'm not married, but a lot of men.
I'm not married either.
A lot of men tell me it's true. Married,
happy wife, happy life. Because guess what? Your wife wants you to do something.
You should probably do it.
Either you're going to do it or you get divorced, or you break up. She doesn't want to be with you anymore, because you got to look at it economically. Inflation, right? If Jed York's got $1 billion, he's divorced, and he's a nut. You got to think about the guy who's got $0. How's that guy going to bust a nut?
You can't do much. It's hard.
And why do you think so many dudes end up becoming frustrated, go up shooting up schools and shit? Because they're sexually frustrated. Why do you think so many people?
So you're saying if school shooters,
if a school shooter, if they busted a nut.
Well, is there a study as like?
There's no study. This is just speculation.
Are all school shooters virgins? Like, is that a known thing?
No, that's not a known thing. I'm not saying that all like school. That maybe that's not the best example.
Yeah, we're gonna get in trouble for this one. We're gonna.
It's fine. I will make the distinction that you're not coming down with me. You did not sign up for this conversation.
Here's the thing. We just mess around.
There you go. But here's the thing. So, I guess my thought process is this. What's the lesson of that particular topic? The lesson is this. If you're a dude out there and you're straight and you like women, treat women with respect. Because Absolutely. you're not any better than she is. Whoever tells you that you're a man and you're better than a woman is lying to you. Because
that's like to get clicks on social media.
Exactly. And those guys that are telling you that on social media are the ones who would bend over for a woman if they had the opportunity.
So there's a term for that group of YouTubers on YouTube and social media. Do you know the term? There's like a term for
I'm sure someone will find it here. I'm not a cool kid like that.
I think it's called the manosphere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's manosphere. So it's
all the guys associated with that, are essentially men are superior.
Yeah, and
I was like, look, if you say like you're better than a woman, that's saying I'm superior. It's like,
so look, I'll tell you, I'm a straight dude. I don't think that. Like, no. I think everybody, man, woman, trans, non-binary, we're all created equal. We're all like, there's billions of people on this planet. Not everybody's supposed to think and feel the same way.
No, that kind of be weird if we all
exactly. So like whatever, like not to make this super weird, but like whatever, either A, gets your dick hard or your pussy wet or whatever the fuck is in the middle of that, like that's for you. But we have to live in a world where we can tear down the layers of propaganda and be like, hey, it's okay for you to like, because what a lot of people don't realize is that it's okay to want to have sex, but also want to get to know someone on a deeper level. And what a lot of people, whether it's straight, gay, somewhere in the middle of that blending of thing, is like, we can do both. Like, my message would be is like, hey, if everybody had the opportunity to feel some sort of liberation of some sort, they would take and some people are not even sexual. They got asexual people, you got demisexual. Obviously, not everybody's a complete horn dog like myself, apparently, because I've been talking about sex for 30 minutes. But like, that's the main point of it. You got like, if a dude who has $1 billion and owns an NFL team, has $160 in Ohio, and has to ping a prostitute 3 times, you got to think about the dude you've never even heard of who wants to do the same thing, and maybe not even really not a bad person, but just needs to feel something, not even sexually, but emotionally. Like, hey, like OnlyFans. Why do you think so many women make so much money on OnlyFans? Because it's like,
they get a lot of subscribers.
They get a lot of subscribers.
A lot of men that are,
because there are a lot of men who are alone and they're paying for, like, I feel like even if I have to mentally convince myself that she's into me, it's worth the money.
Yeah, it's called a parasocial relationship.
There you go.
Something like that.
So, funny enough, there's something I've been thinking a lot about. There's this dude named Karl Popper.
His last name is Proper?
Proper.
Okay.
He came up with this philosophical term. It's called the paradox of tolerance.
The paradox of tolerance. Okay.
So the crux of the paradox of tolerance is that you create a society that is so tolerant that you allow intolerant thoughts to prevail. That you're so open to any perspective that you destroy any other perspective that is not your own, because you yourself are intolerant and you weaponize tolerance of other people. And I've been thinking about that a lot recently. The paradox of tolerance.
The paradox of tolerance. I should read this.
Yeah, look into it.
That sounds interesting.
The paradox of tolerance. Actually, look into it and read, if you don't mind, because you can look it up. Karl Popper has an actual, he wrote this down in I think it was 19 something. It was like, I think it was in like the 40s or 50s, if I'm not mistaken. And he has an exact excerpt, if you find it, The Paradox of Tolerance. And probably his words are better than my own.
Look, this is off Wikipedia.
That's fine.
But
we'll take what we can get.
So Wikipedia, the paradox of tolerance is a philosophical concept suggesting that society extends tolerance to those who are intolerant. It risks enabling the eventual dominance of intolerance, thereby undermining the very principle of tolerance. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. The paradox of tolerance. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Like it's be tolerant, but at the same time, being tolerant of intolerance creates further intolerance.
Yeah.
So if the goal is tolerance, there are times where you're going to have to be intolerant.
Yeah. You're going to have to fight for something because it's like, hey, that is intolerant behavior.
That is a very articulate way of saying tolerance is inherently a gray subject.
Exactly. There's no black and white intolerance.
Because being fully tolerant, like it says, will lead to more intolerance.
Exactly. And so going back to Jed York, maybe this
back to Jed York. Oh, I need to hear this.
So this might be to hear this. So this might be a controversial, unpopular opinion, but in my opinion, I would honestly say a couple of things. Number one, People who disagree with me, that's fine. I think sex work and prostitution should be legal. It shouldn't be illegal. You might say, why? I go back to Butters' bottom bitch.
Butters.
South Park.
Yep.
In that episode, the crux of the episode, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it, but, fuck it. I mean, you hear, you might as well. And you can watch it for yourself. So in that episode, Butters, if you never watched South Park, Butters is like he starts off as like the innocent, pure little boy, in a show full of crazy kids. He's like the pure one. And then as the seasons progress, his character arc develops. And in this particular episode, the episode starts and Butters is on top of one of those little tether poles. He's got his underwear hung up, and they're smacking him in the head with a little tether ball. Stan and Kyle walk over to say, hey, whoa, what's going on over here? Cartman and the gang, they go, we just found that our Butters has never kissed a girl before. And any guy that hasn't kissed a girl before the 4th grade is a total dork and loser. And someone comes running in and says, hey, one of these girls at school is selling kisses. So they dress. Oh, yeah. So okay, Butters going to get his first kiss. Butters dresses up in a nice little button up and a tie, does his hair. He gets his kiss. And character arc development right there in the episode. He in real time. In real time. He evolves into something different. He's like, man, I got responsibilities. I'm going to have a family soon. I got to make a living. I got to make money. And his way of making money is starting a kissing company where he gets all the girls in school to kiss the other guys that are desperate to get a kiss and makes money. And then somewhere in the episode, Kyle comes up to Butters and is like, Butters, you're nothing more than like a common pimp. Like, you're like, what are you doing? Like, are you sure you want to do all that? And Butters goes, look at Stan. Stan's over there with Wendy. Wendy's Stan's girlfriend. Wendy's tearing into Stan. And Butters goes, if you got to take her out, you got to deal with all her problems, all that stuff. It's no different than what I'm doing. I'm providing a means to an end for what these fellas want. And so what I would suggest to people out there as a lesson is like the truth is always in the middle. Because at the end of that episode, Butters comes to realize that what he's doing is wrong because pure love prevails above all else.
What a lovely end.
And so my lesson of that would be this. 2 things can be true at once. You can want to have sex and be horny, but also want to get to know someone on a deeper level, take them to nice dinners, open the door, buy them flowers. You want to do that. Whether it's a patriarchal or matriarchal society, these are just terms that people throw at people to divide people. Because at the end of the day, in a hetero relationship, a man needs a woman and a woman needs a man. I'm not better than she is. She's not better than me. We're equals. Maybe she's better than me because I'm a complete dipshit. But that's besides the point. So
you're not talking about individual analysis. You're saying like overarching.
Overarching is that, so it goes to politics even. Like Democrat, Republican. Like I've always been a big believer that like the Democrats need the Republicans and the Republicans need the Democrats in American society because you can't have one without the other. So it's like in many ways they're like lumped together and they work together. And I feel like they distract people and they pit people against each other when in reality they work together and they make a bunch of money and they fuck people. So it's like if people really wanted to come together, it would be the same thing on a dating app or in person. You go to a bar, you go to the grocery store, like sometimes there are probably some dudes that like, they feel like it's weird to go up to a girl in person and talk to her as a straight dude and be like, oh, I shouldn't talk to her because it's uncomfortable. And then on the other flip side of that coin, you've got the guy who makes it completely awkward and tries to be a creep. Don't be a creep and don't be afraid to talk to people. The worst thing that happens is nothing happens. But you got to try. So it goes back to Jed York.
Like back to Jed York.
Back to Jed York.
Take me back to Jed York.
Whether you've got $1 billion or whether you're completely broke, we all just want to feel a human connection. We all want to feel like we're a part of something, like someone cares about us. And sex is a way that we feel important and that we feel connected to people. Like in a weird way, like in the most humble way that I could explain this is like, you know, if I'm a dude, we're having sex and I come, that's my way of expressing what you've done to me. Like you did that to me. And my hope would be that I do the same thing to you and you feel the same way that I do.
It's an intimate experience.
It's an intimate experience. Like, it's not just about me. It's not just about me as the dude getting off. Like, I'm not like that of like, it's just about me. It's not the manosphere bullshit. It's like, you gotta feel something too. But together, if we come together, we can feel something greater than what we would have experienced had we not tried this before. So maybe, you know, I don't know how coherent this came across. I tried my best in the heat of the moment, you know.
I've been following.
I appreciate that.
I've been following the whole time, so I think the audience can follow no problem.
I appreciate that. I hope so, man. But it's
they know for sure now. None of this was planned.
No, this was not pre-planned whatsoever. But it's like,
wait. I'm like, when did you tell me about the Jed York and then back at it?
Jed York.
Back at it, Jed
York. But and then back to dating apps. Actually, even we're connected to dating.
Oh, apps. Another connection.
We're connected to dating apps. So it's like if someone downloads a dating app, you know, you're a straight dude, hypothetically, right? You download the dating app, and you don't want to pay. You want to use the free version. The free version, right?
Which has its limits.
Whatever it is, Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, whatever, Facebook, whatever the fuck it's called. Like
Facebook's called?
Apparently. I've never used it.
I didn't even know.
Apparently. Yeah, dude, everything. I mean, it's just like Paramount Plus, Disney Plus. Shit, they got Hinge Plus now.
Yeah, but imagine, hey, would you meet your girl, Paramount Plus?
Hey.
How'd that work?
Well, maybe we'll have to have like the Unfiltered Report, like reality dating show or like dating app or something. We'll actually try to like.
We'll sell the rights to Paramount Plus.
Sell the rights to Paramount Plus is hilarious. But you know, it's like, okay, you might be a good-looking dude, but maybe your profile just gets lost in the algorithm or whatever.
It's a fully algorithm-based system, which means like it's not necessarily on a. Look, it's a computer.
So like what a lot of
and they want to keep. Here's the thing: they make money keeping you on the app.
Exactly.
That's a very important thing to understand.
Yeah.
They are not
like
incentivized to get you married.
They are not.
They're
incentivized to keep you on the app as long as possible and paying for it. Now, if you ask me, how would I run a dating app? I'd want my dating app to be something where it's like whether you want to be whatever umbrella you want to follow, you want to hook up, you want to get married, whatever it is on that umbrella, just talk to people and figure it out. You know, like on Tinder, if you do the free version and you start swiping right and left, after X amount of swipes, an ad will pop up anyways. Even if you're not paying for it.
Some ad companies paying big money for that ad.
Big money. You know, so it's, they've got like Hinge X, Hinge Plus. It's the same thing. We got Paramount Plus.
We got stages.
We got Apple TV Plus.
What level you want?
Yeah, what level you want. We got Tinder Gold, Tinder Plus, Tinder Premium, Tinder 24 karat gold, like whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because the whole
Tinder iced out.
Tinder iced out, solid gold, titanium.
Like baguettes on it. Like
fucking diamonds, like, whatever, like. So yeah, the app is designed to keep you on the app. The app is not designed for the success stories of like, the app is designed for like, you paid me money. And whatever success stories come out of that, fuel that. But, on a dating app, you could be a good looking dude. And you get lost in the algorithm. And if you don't know any better, your self-confidence goes down. You start thinking, man, am I ugly? Is there something wrong with me? Am I not attractive? Is it my personality? Maybe you go out in person. Maybe you go to a bar, you go to a club, you're standing there, you see all these guys with women, women with women, men with men, and you're just standing there in the corner and you're like, damn, is there something wrong with me? Have I done something wrong? High school kid that goes and shoots up the school. Everybody bullies you. They tell you like, hey man, you're useless. You can't do nothing.
I think those kids also have mental illness. I mean, to shoot up a school, that's like an extreme.
No, I know that's probably not the best extreme act. Probably not the best example. But again, my point is bigger than that's probably a bad example. But again,
and I'm not saying, by the way, mental illness is an excuse. I'm just saying I can't imagine someone who doesn't have mental illness.
Well, I'll tell you. Actually, I'll tell you. You know what I mean? Well, go into mental illness. Just in the same way that a dating app is designed to keep you on the app, guess what? A therapist is trying to take your money too.
That's one thing I always thought about. And I'm not in therapy. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. But I always thought, I'm like, well, like, if they fix you, then they can't charge you.
Exactly.
They have their professional license and they have to do a good job for you and so on. But I always look at the monetary incentive. I mean, it's the same for example, attorneys, billing attorneys. I bill, and it's like you settle a case early. The client wants you to settle, you have to settle it. But for monetarily, the law firm would prefer that case for sure to go forward and bill more, get more hours on it, get more revenue.
Exactly. So for me, I've always thought about it like part of the reason part of the inspiration for the Unfiltered Report was basically trying to create a space for people to come on and talk about things for free without having to pay for it. Like whatever you're passionate about, whatever your anxieties are, whatever your fears are, like you would just come on and be like, hey, like no one's going to judge you for it. Like going back to sex, whatever gets your dick hard. Like people are going to tell you like morality and purity and all of these different things. Like you got to run your own race, but run your own race within being a reasonable, not like a total, obviously, like, you know, you get within reason, obviously. Right. But so for me, I've always been fascinated by like talking to people, trying to help people. But I never felt like I could be a legitimate psychologist or psychiatrist because I don't know how I could charge someone to help someone. Like imagine you're having a conversation with someone. They're really struggling mentally. They're going through it. They're booked for an hour session. 45 minutes, you're going in circles. You finally break down your patient. You're trying to help them. They finally open up. And then the clock hits the top of the hour. And you cut them off and you say, hey, we ran out of time. I'll see you next week. Are you kidding me? That's like that's the psychological equivalent of blue balls. Right? Like
I see the analogy.
Right? So it's like, you know, I always, and what I've always believed, and this has been maybe part nature, part nurture. I've always believed that something therapy related, psychologically related should be government funded.
I see what you're saying.
The government should fund your mental health excursions. So that way a psychologist or a psychiatrist doesn't exploit you for more money.
Because that's a real thing. I assume most therapists, don't do that, but there's definitely a portion of them that for sure do that.
But you've also got to think about it like this. Not all therapists are probably great. So what if I need therapy and I go to a therapist and that therapist is not that great? I give up on therapy altogether. And part of the reason why you give up on therapy is not only the experience, but it's also the financial, because it's expensive. Even with insurance, it's expensive. And part of what a therapist is just a friend. And part of that is that I've always believed that therapy, I've always believed you don't need to pay someone for therapy. You just need to talk to people who actually are willing to take the time to hear you out. And if I'm charging you money, I really don't care to hear you out. I just want your money. So I couldn't do that to someone.
I see what you mean.
So I would hope that this space would become a place where people would just come on here and be like, hey, I'm a dude. I'm struggling. Hey, I'm a woman. And I have to deal with all these creeps and weirdos. And I'm worried that there are no genuine men out there. Hey, I'm a non-binary or a trans person, and I feel like I'm being persecuted by people who are trying to eliminate people like me. There's no amount of money I could charge you to talk about that. Are you kidding me? $150, $200, $100. How am I going to charge you that? That's some real shit. Talk about it.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. Talk about what it feels like. Talk about what it feels like to either be somebody who has a lot of sex or no sex and not feel uncomfortable about it. Like, hey, like it's a part of the human experience. There's billions of us. You'll never walk alone. That's a Liverpool thing. Shout out to our guy Fadil.
Fadil.
You'll never walk alone, baby. You know, so it's like, I guess the lesson in all of this is like, people will give you a million reasons not to talk to other people, whether it's a dating app, whether it's media, whether it's somebody else. They'll tell you like, hey, don't talk to that person. They got the wrong skin color. They don't make enough money. They're not tall enough. They're not buff enough. They're not skinny enough. They don't eat enough. They eat too much, whatever. So you can come up with a million reasons to be with someone, not to be with someone, to talk to someone or not. Give that person the benefit of the doubt and talk to them like a human being. Don't belittle them. Don't talk to them like you know more than they do. Don't talk to them like you're better than they are. Hear them. Talk to them. Get to know them. You never know. You might actually enjoy that shit. And then I'll go back to Rupert Murdoch and Fox real quick because we had that and like the NFL. So the NFL launched this, Justice Department thing. And it's, do you think the federal government cares about consumers paying more money to watch football? No. Don't give a fuck. But it's pandering because what is that investigation going to do? You're a lawyer. We'll get to this with Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard.
Steve Ballmer.
If Rupert Murdoch goes to the federal government and says, hey, I've been paying you guys a lot of money. I've been spreading a lot of propaganda to get you guys in this position. Now you got to do me a solid and keep me and my company afloat. Okay, Netflix, Amazon, Apple, these streamers, they're not going anywhere, YouTube TV, whatever. But hey, NFL, Roger Goodell, owners, government, we're still an integral piece of this pie. Don't kill off Fox.
Yeah.
That's why legacy media and cable doesn't fully die. Because of money. Because of lobbying.
So what is it? I heard it was recent. I think April is when they opened their investigation.
I think it was June.
Oh, no, that's really recent. I haven't looked too much into it. I just know DOJ opened an investigation for antitrust violations. And the crux of it, like you said, that essentially that having the games on like Netflix and other streaming platforms.
It's bad for the consumer.
Yeah.
But it's not about the consumer. It's about Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah, that's like because Rupert Murdoch has an interest in Fox News, right?
Not even Fox News, but Fox NFL Sunday.
So
they want that package.
What does he have ownership still in Fox?
I forget the whole family, yeah, the Murdoch family, yeah. So it's like it's not about Rupert Murdoch specifically, but it's like, but then people they talk about commissioners of sports like Roger Goodell, Adam Silver, and they're like, oh, how could Adam Silver do this? Adam Silver is just a puppet. Roger Goodell is just a puppet. They work for other people behind the scenes. Same thing with the federal government. Like people get mad at the government, but there are people that you don't even know about that pull the strings behind the scenes that tell you how to feel and what to think. And they divide people instead of uniting them, in my humble opinion. And like, I feel like the only way to really get to the best version of society is to, hey, like we all want the same things. We want to feel secure. We want to feel safe. We want our families to be protected. We want clean water. We want clean food. Clean air. We want to build a better society. We don't want climate catastrophes,
That'd be terrible.
We don't want climate change and environmental protections going away and all these different things. Like we want to take care of each other.
So Rupert Murdoch still has an ownership interest through the Murdoch Family Trust in Fox Corporation. So that's pretty interesting in the sense of like you are working for the DOJ and investigating an entity, the NFL, like a business, that has a direct financial relationship with the company you have ownership in, and the subject of the investigation is to eliminate streaming platform being able to put on games, which would directly benefit you financially.
But then you meet in the middle because the streaming guys aren't going to back down, so everybody wins. So it's like Fox gets enough games to where they're happy, and then the streamers get.
I haven't looked into it a lot. Is my summary correct?
Pretty much.
Okay, makes sense.
More or less. I mean, we could always go deeper than that.
Look, they have their reasons to do antitrust violation. And you know what? It might actually be an antitrust violation at the end of the day. But this is all to say it's likely a bit pretextual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and the cops are allowed to do this. They're allowed to be like, hey, I want to pull this guy over because I think I saw him do robbery.
Like probable cause.
But they don't have, let's say the guy doesn't have any problem.
So can you actually, real quick, I want to get your opinion on this. Can you explain, connecting the dots further, explain this Mark Walters situation as best as you can with the federal government also kind of opening up an investigation, which leads to the sale of the Lakers and potentially other assets?
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I need to look up what date he bought it. Because he had like such a short ownership in the Lakers. Well, he bought it and it was at a valuation of $10 million. October 30th, 2025. It has not been a full calendar year. That's when he officially became the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers. As in he was approved. My bad. He was approved as majority owner and closed on the sale. $10 billion valuation, right? And there was that thing with like the tag-along rights that allowed Jeannie Buss to stay as governor as long as she had more than 15% of the team, right? So she was going to be a minority shareholder, but as long as she had 15%, and I think her ownership is through the Buss Family Trust or whatever name it has. But with Mark Walter, I mean, the investigation and the timing of everything is somewhat perplexing. If I'm correct, I believe it's a tax investigation. So IRS. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, it's regarding insurance. The statement by him that there's no fraud, so on. So the timing of this is interesting. He's under investigation by the federal government, and then with less than a year after closing, had the deal to sell the same interest he just bought less than a year earlier. Now, again, at a much higher valuation. So that by itself might be the reasoning here. At $2.5 billion additional dollars in valuation. That's a lot. Especially in less than a calendar year. You can't get mad at that rate of return whatsoever, especially for that time frame. So, but it begs the question, after a federal government investigation, he is now selling the team to a member of the Kushner family, right, who is
a member of the Kushner family who wanted to buy FIFA about a week or two earlier than that.
And instead has pivoted to the Lakers, wanted to deploy his capital somehow in a sports team or league, and he chose the Lakers after
with the former CEO of Disney, who, by the way, people say is a left-wing entity. It's kind of funny. Like, again, like I just pit that thing. Like,
yeah, Disney is considered a left-wing entity.
But is it really? But is that not? But is that just propaganda? That's my question.
That just might be how they portray themselves.
That's what I'm saying. Is that not just propaganda, where it's like people were behind the scenes, like?
Yeah, I mean,
man, not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like you would think that, like, maybe this is not the best example, but it'd be like if Stephen Colbert and Donald Trump bought a baseball team together. Like, you wouldn't expect that. You
wouldn't expect it. And that's natural not expect it.
But then maybe Bob Iger and Joshua Kushner, maybe it's not too totally far-fetched out of the realm of possibility. So,
yeah. I think that whole deal is just very – so I looked it up, Ryan. October 30th, 2025 is when he officially closed.
So that's a quick, less than a year sale.
He flipped it.
And now $2.5 billion. Now, like you said, you can't get mad at that.
You can't get mad at the return, but the timing of the investigation.
It's a little bit.
And then the fact that it was sold to someone who was directly connected to the president, the family of the president, right? His brother married Ivanka Trump, daughter of the 47th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The connection is clear and close. So all that makes the circumstances interesting, right? It makes it a little less clean because, especially with sports teams, they don't get flipped.
So here's something I want to...
At least historically they haven't. This might open the door.
Here's something I want to get your opinion on. So I've been doing a lot of interesting reading on this. So the NBA, out of all the North American sports leagues, has had the highest rate of sales of teams in recent memory in the history of North American sports, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Because the Blazers just sold, the T-Wolves just sold,
the Celtics
just sold, the Lakers just sold
twice now,
and just that alone is all within the last year and a half. I think I saw.
Because the Celtics they started marketing after their championship, so that's within the last 2 years. Let's call it. Trailblazers was recent, and the Lakers have been sold twice now.
Yeah, and that's all within the last year and a half, and.
The NBA has had 13 control sales since 2019. Yahoo Sports.
13
since Yahoo Sports.
And that's the most out of any league. 13. So now you've got that coupled with NBA Europe on the docket, which nobody's really talking about. NBA Europe.
Yeah, it's kind of just
kind of there. Nobody's talking about it, even though it's a legitimate thing and it's going to happen.
Do you want me to name the 13 sales?
Please.
2019, Brooklyn Nets, $2.35 billion. The Utah Jazz, 2020 COVID, $1.66 billion. The Timberwolves in
Mark Lormar,
2021, 1.5. That was because they had steps in their purchase.
And then the Suns, right? Matt Ishbia, that's another one we forgot.
And that's $4 billion a year after. That was a big valuation, I remember at the time, in comparison to the other recent sales. $3 billion for the Hornets in 23.
That's right.
Michael Jordan, congratulations to him. He was already a billionaire, but this is big billionaire status. I mean,
this
for a former player to now be an owner and
to cash out like that. Yeah.
I mean, it just shows you how far you can go, and when you are
Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
Yeah, unbelievable. Mavericks. I forgot. Yeah, that's what spurred the Luka trade.
We haven't even talked about
$3.5 billion.
We'll get to that. That's a part of the long edge thing. Dallas
so
Mavericks,
23, another $3.5 billion sale. The Bucks.
That's right. Jimmy Haslam, Cleveland Browns.
This chart I'm looking at says not available for the Raptors in 2024. I don't know. Did something occur? Was there a potential sale that went down and did not go through?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I think Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment bought the remaining shares. If I could be.
Okay.
I think I could be wrong.
Oh, so that's not okay. So that's probably different than.
I could be wrong.
Then it's the same entity, just
they bought more,
and they were already the majority. I
think so.
Yeah, that doesn't really count as a sale in my mind because that's not
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
It says NA for the valuation.
So probably why? Because they didn't fully sell.
Yeah. Celtics. That we're on 25, 6.1. Lakers, $10 billion in 25. Blazers in 26, 4.25. Lakers again, 12.5 in 2026, and they have a Timberwolves deal after that at 4.5 billion.
So all this begs the question: not only do you have sales. You mentioned Portland Trailblazers. New owner. They want public money, threaten relocation. Timberwolves, ever since the new ownership transition, a lot of propaganda about all of a sudden the Timberwolves need arena renovations. Sources tell us. Timberwolves, Portland, 2 recent sales. Obviously, the Lakers aren't going anywhere. But you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves is a great example. The Minnesota Vikings had to threaten state and local legislature that, hey, we're going to move if you don't pony up public dollars.
Yeah.
And they stayed because the public ponied up. Portland, that's the big debate. New ownership. Hey, public money, or we're out of this bitch.
Do you think the owner wants to go to Vegas? Does he instead of new teams just have me go there?
I feel like Adam Silver in the NBA. Again, I don't want to contradict myself because Adam Silver is not the guy. It's the owners. The other owners of the NBA are not going to pass up at the expansion fee of a Las Vegas franchise. They're not going to do what Major League Baseball did with the A's. It's going to be an expansion franchise, in my opinion.
And that's going to have. I bet that franchise is going to have a crazy initial valuation. That will prop up the valuation of all the other teams, right? It's going to raise the floor,
and that's why they're going to want that expansion franchise.
Exactly.
So, do I think there's a legitimate chance that the Portland Trail Blazers move? Yes. Do I think that owner of theirs is absolutely coming in guns a-blazing and fucking things up in a whole bunch of ways? Absolutely. Do I think they're going to go to Vegas? No. I think if I had to guess, if they did leave Portland, Raleigh's one possibility. Raleigh, North Carolina, where the other team that he owns, the Carolina Hurricanes, are.
Oh, okay.
Also, I don't know how many people know this, but Tom Dundon, the guy who bought the Blazers, we mentioned Mark Walter in the PWHL. Tom Dundon actually runs the professional pickleball league.
Huh.
Did not know if anybody knew that or not.
I did not.
Just like Shad Khan of the Jaguars runs AEW wrestling.
I did not know that either. Oh, my.
Yeah.
A lot of connections here.
A lot of connections, man. So all these guys own the same shit. But
wasn't it like the owner of the Rams owns the Nuggets and the Avalanche?
Yeah, Kroenke owns the Nuggets and Arsenal. And
Arsenal. Wow. That's quite a sports portfolio.
And the Kroenke family, I think the son is married to one of the Waltons, which is the Walmart family.
Yes, I heard about that.
So
which is absurd, almost like.
So basically,
billionaire families,
So basically, Walmart owns every professional sports team in Colorado. If you think about it, Nuggets, Avalanche, and Broncos, because the Walmart family, through the Penner family, owns the Broncos as well.
Oh, I did not.
So Walmart owns every team in the state of Colorado.
There we go, Walmart baby.
Walmart
great value. Is that their slogan?
Something like that. I remember I watched a documentary in high school where apparently the guy who founded Walmart he started off by selling panties out of his trunk.
What?
Something like that. I could be inaccurate.
That's a.
They're only.
I don't know. A lot of people wake up just like, I want to sell panties.
Man, my senior year of high school, there are only 3 documentaries I remember watching. One documentary was that one that I just mentioned with the Walmart. The second one was, I forget the name of the class. It was like this bullshit elective class I took my last little bit of high school. It was called like consumerism something and capitalism in America. It was like the first time they ever offered it. And we had this teacher and he showed us this one documentary. And one of the things they talked about was something like, have you ever heard of product placement?
Yes.
So there was a documentary that talked about like product placement where, in movies, like if you ever see in a movie and they're in a high-speed chase and the camera pans to the front of the car with the logo on it and it's like a Mercedes-Benz or something, product placement being that Mercedes-Benz paid that movie to put a Mercedes-Benz car into that movie. So it's like sports sponsorships. But, so that was the second documentary. And then the only other documentary I remember from my senior year of high school was I took a marine biology class that was also complete bullshit. And we had a first-year teacher at the time, and she showed us this documentary where apparently flatworms in the ocean, when they mate, they both have penises, and they engage in something called penis fencing. And the loser loses their dick and has the kid, and then the winner keeps their penis and is the father.
Okay.
And I will never forget that. That's like my favorite fun fact of all time. Is that flatworms are both male and female, and they penis fence, and the loser loses the penis and has a child, and the winner keeps their penis and then goes and penis fences somebody else. And it's just like some Darwinistic cycle of penis fencing.
You learn something new every day, my friend.
And those are the only things I remember from my senior year of high school.
Sounds like the only important stuff you need to know.
That wasn't that memorable.
Right, clearly not. Right,
clearly not.
Remembering all these years later, they're memorable.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I wasn't one of those cool kids back in the day. You're not here fucking, shit. Back in the day, my definition of a good time: Friday night, throw on a little Maction, a little Toledo, and Bowling Green on a Friday on ESPN2. That was my.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that was my Friday night in high school. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
Come on now.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, some things change, some things stay the same. Here we are, about a decade, some later. But yeah, man, we mentioned the Timberwolves and how they had a sale.
They did. It was in steps, right?
In steps.
And the owner, I guess previous owner now was pissed because when he initially agreed to sell it, that's before like the valuations all spiked.
Yeah.
So, and then he tried to get out of it, I believe.
And then got ruled again. Yep. Glenn Taylor got pissed. And then so it's a whole exchanging of the hands. But also on the subject of the Minnesota Timberwolves, they made a move today. They go out, they get Jonathan Kuminga on a little deal. We've been going all over the place and everything that has nothing to do with sports, and to show off our the fact that we have no script and no plan of where we're going. We just chop it up and see where we go. Jonathan Kuminga to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
We also had Klay Thompson to the Heat.
Yes.
We had DeMar DeRozan, my guy, to the Denver Nuggets.
Love DeRozan.
And we had Benedict Mathurin to the New Orleans Pelicans, and a couple other two-way deals here and there that we can get into as well. But I think those are the main deals that I'm.
Yeah, those are the main ones. At least that I recall.
From the last time we chopped it up about the NBA till now, I think those are the most recent deals. So just to kind of get your thoughts on those, Kuminga, DeRozan, Klay, Ben Mathurin. Peyton Watson to Cleveland.
Yes, that's a big one. That's a big one. Was then Harden was waiting for that, so then he re-signed.
Yep.
3-year deal.
Yep. And then that also opened up for obviously DeMar to Denver, Klay to Miami, so on and so forth. So yeah, just on that subject too, just a little bit of basketball chatter. Any of those signings that stand out to you out of Watson, Mathurin, DeRozan, Thompson?
So I'm not surprised with Watson going somewhere else. Like, it kind of was inevitable, especially when it went on this late. Watson's a great player. I think it's a great pickup for Cleveland. As much as I like Max Strus, I think Watson is a pretty coveted guy, and for good reason. So he's going to have a big role there. Still, no matter what, Knicks in 5. Got to throw that out there. I can analyze a team objectively and then hit you at the end with the subjective part.
Knicks in 5, baby.
Right. But I'll say, the East has gone strong. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So that was a big move. DeRozan to Nuggets. Love my guy DeRozan. You love DeRozan. Mid-range, consistent, reliable, plays hard, works hard, likable guy. How can you hate DeRozan?
A lot of people do, man. It's
really?
Crazy. It's crazy. I mean, for what you see.
Look, here's what I say. If picking him up at this point, especially for the Nuggets.
For a vet minimum, too, by the way.
That's a good deal. Yeah. He took less money. But I don't know. I mean, I would say it's a good signing. Like, getting a guy of his caliber at a minimum deal, great signing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in terms of, like, how the Nuggets are going to look this year, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're still in the second apron.
They're the most expensive team in the league right now.
Like, the Cavs were in the second apron last year, but they got out. Being in the second apron, and the thing is, like, Jamal Murray is a playoff riser, right? What's that mean? That means in the regular season, he's not as strong as he is in the postseason. But it also makes him an elite player at the same time because, he gives you, like, great production generally in the playoffs. But he's also been injured, and he's a max contract. Jokic is a max contract. Those are the 2 max slots you have on your team under the new CBA. You have to keep in mind Aaron Gordon. He's been getting more hurt. You lost Peyton Watson, but now you have DeMar DeRozan. Your bench is not very deep. You run like an 8-man lineup, right? Or with Malone, it was like 7. He was doing like a Tibbs impression, right? So I don't know how I feel about them. I think they're going to still be at least like a 5 seed with Jokic healthy.
Listen, you got Jokic, you're always going to have a chance.
But I'm wondering, because Jokic is it seems through the media, it's been telegraphed that he's going to sign that absurd extension next year.
Yep.
Because if he signed it this year, it wouldn't be absurd. But I guess
next year is going to be crazy.
Like
money.
$360 million or something like
fuck you money.
Yeah, like $75 million a year or something crazy.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think Devin Booker's deal is at least $70 million a year.
But his is short term. That's why.
It's a 2-year extension.
Yeah.
I can't believe he got that. By the way, I love Devin Booker, but it's like, dude, like what they did, like gave him money. Like I didn't like.
Well, you got to think about it. If you're Phoenix, Matt Ishbia. We talked about Matt Ishbia a little bit. It's kind of like that.
2-year, $145.
Wow, it's almost $70-some million.
Hey man, good for him. He's a great player. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but I'm saying I thought he was going to be like a Wemby and then like the next face of the league. Because as much as I love Booker,
like the 75.
Yeah, he's got an opportunity. Like he's not going to be the face of the league.
I get that, but yeah, dude. I mean, it's only a matter of time until we get $100 million annual contract.
At this point, it's like 5 years away.
You know, it brings up something interesting. I know it's something you wanted to talk about.
MLB cap.
Because
salary cap.
Because you're mentioning Jokic making fuck you money, but that's still under the guise of a second apron.
Yes.
And one of the big conversations in MLB with the lockout looming, hey, are we going to have a salary cap or not? And, you know, I wanted to get your thoughts on what do you think that scenario looks like? What are your thoughts on the potential of a salary cap? Should there be a salary cap? Should there not be a salary cap? You know, it's something we've been kind of wanting to talk about. I know you wanted to bring it up.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'll say off the jump. I'll start with like my conclusion, if you will. I think no salary cap, but it should be a salary floor. And I'll explain. Baseball, there's something cool about having these long-term deals, some of them reaching like $800 million, you know, Juan Soto with all the incentives like $800 million, those kinds of things. And the fact that in baseball, guys play longer, right? Because you're not going to hit like NFL, you're not doing the same constant explosive movements you do in the NBA. Guys can play much later in their 30s consistently. Like, for example, like LeBron's an anomaly completely. Like, he's still elite, and he was super elite at like 38. But 38, like, all right, man, like in baseball, like you're kind of old. And then in basketball, you're super old.
Yeah.
But in baseball, you're kind of old, right? So it's cool to have those types of contracts, and it gives the players a lot of autonomy, and it's kind of more freedom for the league. And you don't really have the issues in terms of like the teams with the biggest payrolls are the best. That's been a problem in the past for the MLB. But currently, the last 2-3 years minimum, that hasn't been the case. The Tampa Bay Rays are the number one team in the AL. Not the AL East. They already have that, but the AL. The Yankees are 2, and they have like the 5th highest payroll, or they're in top 5. I don't know how close they are. The Mets, I think, have the 2nd. 1st or 2nd. And they stink. Now, the Dodgers have like top 2, I think, and they're really good.
The Mets have the highest payroll.
Absurd.
Dodgers are 2nd, and then the Yankees are 3rd. The Phillies are 4th. The Blue Jays are 5th.
But like, look, I'm going to look at the standings for you.
Tampa Bay is 23rd in payroll.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the number one team in baseball, where are they on payroll?
Milwaukee's 19th right now.
19th. What about the Atlanta Braves?
Atlanta Braves is 6th.
Oh, they're higher than I thought they were.
They spend good money, though.
Miami Marlins, they're
Miami Marlins are 29th in payroll.
And they're 3rd in the NL East with a over 500 record.
Cleveland's got the lowest payroll in the league, and they can win the division this year.
They can win the division this year. They're 2.5 games out. What about the White Sox?
White Sox 25th in payroll.
Number 1 in
so basically,
Central.
So either the 25th or the 30th payroll in the league is going to win the AL Central this year.
Exactly.
And then the Tigers, who just traded Taylor Skubal not too long ago, 11th.
Look, right now there's not a parity issue in baseball that would warrant a salary cap. It's purely to lower expenses. Have a cap on expenses, make them fixed, right? Essentially, the players are going to get stiffed more. That's what it is. I think a floor is positive. I also like the fact that they're like the only American league
that doesn't have a cap.
Doesn't have a cap. You know what's funny about them? They actually still run on a judicially granted antitrust exemption.
Yeah.
You know, CBAs are inherently a violation of the Sherman Act. They're price-fixing, anti-competitive as their inherent nature. So for the NFL and the NBA, Congress enacted statutes to allow them to have collective bargaining agreements and so on, right? The MLB operates off a very old, I think it's from like 1920s or 30s, grant by the Supreme Court of an antitrust exemption. And what's funny is like when it was challenged later, like years later, the court purely ruled on stare decisis, which is like we just follow old precedent. But yeah, you know, the Supreme Court flips from old precedent when like, you know, it's persuaded like it did on Roe v. Wade. That's like the most recent example, right? That was long standing for a very long time. and now Roe v. Wade has been overturned. They haven't yet overturned the MLB one. They weren't asked recently, but like there was a long gap between like when it was initially given and then.
By the way, isn't it crazy that?
And it was just upheld because they're like, look, we're just going to give it to you.
Yeah.
But now you see Manfred, commissioner, MLB, hanging out with Trump. I feel like Manfred's making an effort to get cozier as sooner the potential negotiations will, then when the season ends. He's been ramping it up. And why is that? Because the president holds a lot of power. And all of a sudden the president's now making comments about like, maybe there should be a salary cap. So we'll see if there's any intervention by the federal government to make a salary cap happen. I have a feeling there might be. But if I'm the players, man, I'm schmoozing the shit out of him. They can show him a better time than Manfred. You kidding me? Bryce Harper, because he's been really vocal about it, like, man, take him out. Take him out in Philly. Go out drinking. You know what I mean?
Show him a good time.
Show him a good time. Go party. Mr. President, you, me, nice dinner. We'll go out after. We'll bring the whole team. Kyle Schwarber, home run leader. Like, we're going to have a good time, man. What do you and Manfred talk about, man? We're the fun group. So they got to hit him with that.
Got to hit him with the bribe, huh?
Look, man.
Who's going to bend the knee harder? Is that what you're saying?
And of course, this is all joking. But if I was president, man, I'd be telling people to give me favor left, right, and center. I'd be like, hey, what do you think about this? I'll be like, I want to try that new restaurant.
But the beauty of the UnFiltered Report.
Can you get me in that exclusive restaurant? I want to try it.
Are we being facetious? Are we being satirical? Are we being legitimate? It's up for people to interpret. But you know what, man? Part of that long edge thing, I've talked to you about it off the record. We won't torture anybody with it, but it's coming. Like, it connects all this kind of stuff together. It gets me fired up, man. I get, I mean, we could be here for another 5 hours talking about it. I'm excited for it. I hope the people will tune in for that when that time comes, or read it or watch it or whatever, without edging it too hard, just kind of stay tuned for that. But I'm glad to get your perspective on that, because I think it's valuable. I mean, you said it, like, I think part of it plays into the long edge thing that we've been doing here, which is there's a lot of things that connect, and this is one of those things that connects with the impending lockout. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I think just without going too far deep into it, I think, I like the fact that baseball is the one sport without a salary cap. I think it needs a floor more than a cap. And then I know part of the league's proposal to the Players Association was getting the draft in the minor leagues even further, and fuck all that too. And that actually connects to another part of the long edge thing about college sports. So we can get to those weeds in due time. I got to tease the people a little bit, but can't give them too much. But yeah, man, I think with baseball, there's obviously a lot of people get mad at the Dodgers. And I know that's another thing with Mark Walter that we talked about a little bit earlier. And that's kind of a little bit of a cloud over the whole thing, if you will. But I think baseball's got bigger problems than a salary cap. Just like I think other sports have bigger problems than what we'll talk about. So I'm excited, man. The playoffs are around the corner, though.
Around the corner.
We got football around the horizon as well. Very close.
Fall is coming.
It's about to be sports equinox season before you know it. We got a lot on the docket. Shit, before you know it, man, it's going to be an NBA game and an NFL game on the same day. We're going to have MLB playoffs. We're going to have college sports. Hockey's going to come back. Soccer's in full swing. I know you're not a big soccer guy, but, we give some love to soccer. UFC's always alive and kicking it. There's a lot on the docket, man. We got a lot to look forward to. Before we put a bow on this bad boy, anything that we didn't cover that we should get into that we might have glossed over or forgotten, or maybe, when I yammered for a lot earlier, maybe I forgot to say a couple of things. You wanted to say a couple of things.
I think we're covered, man. Hey, man, we're not structured with this.
Oh yeah, that's all for fun.
We're talking.
We're just chopping it up. We're having fun. We're not trying to hurt anybody. We're not trying to offend anybody.
Look, man, we're messing around.
We're about people. Yeah, we're all about peace and love. I would say, going back to the one thing I was yammering about earlier, I think now that I've had a couple of seconds to gather the thoughts and whatnot, I would say, going back to that, the lesson would be like, hey, you know what? Like, it goes back to the paradox of tolerance a little bit. I think that's kind
of paradox of tolerance.
I think we're
back full circle.
I think that's kind of the main thing of where we at, where it's like, hey, what do you tolerate to the extent of allowing intolerance to rise? And I think part of what we want to do is, like you said, we want to have fun. And I feel like our way of kind of maybe trying to promote tolerance is by keeping it a little bit lighthearted in a sense, but also trying to have deep conversations. And so I appreciate you for letting me kind of drag you along, because a lot of what I've said, and I mean, a lot I haven't said, but it gets it closer to, not only gets the long edge thing closer, but it's something that, I mean, I live for these conversations, man. I really do, especially with yourself. I always look forward to these. But yeah, I think it goes back to the paradox of tolerance, and just, going back to the Jed York thing too. I think, you can have your arguments and your debates about prostitution and sex, and, even things like, pornography and, sexual identification and sexual preferences and all those sort of things. And, the one thing I would say is that it's 2026, man. What we want to do here at the UnFiltered Report is we want to make people feel safe, regardless of where you lie on the spectrum of anything. Let's have a conversation instead of trying to fight each other and kill each other and try to convince each other that we're wrong. Like, listen, man, I'll kick back. I'll put my feet up. You can see me right now, but I can put my hands right here. I can kick back, and, we can do the same, and just let people be themselves. Let people, let people feel free. And, I think we're better together than we are apart, right? We're better when we're communicating than we are when we're hating each other. So, whether you're straight, gay, bi, man, woman, trans, whatever you fall under that umbrella, like, it's all love. We're all humans. We all want the same things. We all want a good quality life. We want to make sure we're straight, our friends, our family. We want to make sure that, again, our food is good, our water is good, our air is good. Like, we all want the same things. And so it doesn't matter whether, the color of our skin, sexual orientation, how much money you make. Like, we all want the same things. So going back to Jed York, like, yeah, he's a billionaire, he owns a team, but, like, at the end of the day, we all want the same things. And yeah, he probably shouldn't have done all that, but I think separate to that, I think it's just like, we're better when we have people around us that actually help us get through shit, because ultimately, when you're lonely, that's when the voices, the one thing I'll leave it with is, like, your brain has the power to be your best friend or your worst enemy. Like, the human mind is that powerful. And I mean, another thing we can edge is, like, AI too. And, the one thing I would say is, like, without talking about AI, is like, your own brain is your most powerful tool, and it's your most valuable thing. So instead of having it work against you, try to have it work for yourself. And if you can't have it work for yourself, there's always going to be people around you to try to help you get there. And if there aren't those people around you, I hope that's what this place can be, so we can find you and you can find us, and we can just chop it up, man. Like, whether you're rich, poor, gay, straight, I really don't give a shit. White, black, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, Asian, whatever, like, mixed race, it doesn't matter. We're just all people. So, we all want to feel, I think I told you this off the record, like, in my opinion, everything in life is about stimulation. What makes you feel stimulated is what makes you feel alive. And I think everything is just about feeling alive, because ultimately nobody is immortal. We're not gods. It's not the Odyssey or Zeus and Medusa, whatever the fuck. Like, we're mortal beings, but we want to make the most of it. And in this case, no time better spent than with you, my man. So I appreciate you taking the time to do all this.
And appreciate you for having me.
Cheers to the people out there, man. And hey, you know what? If you come across this, rendition of the UnFiltered Report or any other, and you want to come chop it up, please do so. And we also got some exciting things in the works, because I know you'll be a part of a big project we got also edged in the works that will come on here and share with the people. But you're a part of that project, and I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely looking forward to it.
It's gonna be fun, right?
Damn right.
Damn right. And should we tell the people or should we edge it?
Hey, man, this is your show.
It's not mine, it's ours, man. We'll edge it. But we'll just say that we've got our own league coming to fruition to kind of try to keep, this baby going. With the long-term project, we'll come on here and do it in due time. But my guy Arman over here, many other of the stars of the UnFiltered Report, and some people who haven't been on yet will all be a part of this long-term project that we're edging, which is different than what we have also been edging. So there's a lot of edging going on.
You love that word, man.
Apparently, shit, you take a shot, but I feel like I don't know a better word to use.
Yeah, because teasing has like I don't know if the connotation makes sense in this context.
Yeah, it's not teasing.
Telegraphing?
Maybe telegraphing. It could be. Yeah,
I like that term.
Broadcasting.
Broadcasting.
There you go.
There we are. That's a media term if I've ever heard it.
Oh man, we're ready for propaganda, baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh brother. All right, we love propaganda. I love you. We almost whiffed on that at the end there, but hey,
it doesn't matter.
But they didn't see it, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. You could have just lied about it.
I could have, but I'm an honest guy to a fault. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Ryan. Arman, appreciate you, my brother. Till next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and sit on that paradox of tolerance. Maybe someone will come on here and chop it up about us with the paradox of tolerance. Should we be tolerant or intolerant of tolerance? Where do you fall on that? Let that marinate. Let's come chop it up, baby.